Hello, and welcome to this week's Meander. As I've mentioned before, from the age of 15, I volunteered with Church Army in the UK on what were called summer beach missions. Each year, missioners from across the country would gather at a cathedral somewhere in England for the launch of the annual trek. This had gone on since the early days of Church Army, and initially involved horse-drawn mission vans travelling from place to place until they arrived at a destination near the ocean. By the time I became involved, the missioners would travel in station wagons. They spent a month travelling and then a month at the coast. I usually went for 2 weeks at the coast. We had a children's program on the beach. We preached, sang, and performed skits to tell people about Jesus. There were 2 skits that we often did. The first was called The Chair. It involved 2 people under a rickety-looking chair. One person would try to persuade the other to sit on the suspect-looking seat. The second person usually refused, but the first person would sit on it to demonstrate their faith. The second skit was called I Believe in Soap. A member of the mission team would appear looking very dishevelled and made up to look quite dirty. He or she would then stand in front of the crowd extolling the virtues of soap, its great smell, the way in which it could clean much better than water alone. The list of advantages brought about by soap went on for quite some time. As the great advocate of soap continued with their oration, another character would appear looking quite confused. Eventually they'd stop the soap lover in full flow and say, "Just a minute, you say that you really believe in soap, but if you don't mind me saying so, you don't look as if you've used soap for a very long time." The person with the soap would reply, "I really believe in it, but I don't have to use it." As you may know, this week is the second week in Advent, and the theme is faith. Both of the skits I've described are to do with faith. Do we have it, and how do we practice it? During this season of the Church's year, we're called to think about faith. Where do we place our faith? Or to be more accurate, in whom? Have we placed our faith in what God has done through Jesus? Jesus came to provide a way for us to have a new relationship with God. The brokenness, which we all face, is dealt with by Him in order for us to find a place of peace with God. Are we able to trust God about that? Can we put our faith in those promises? Then how do we work that faith out, even when things seem confusing? The opposite of doubt is not certainty, but faith. Faith in what we have not seen. The person who believed in soap knew all about soap, but didn't apply any of it to their life. Are we able to move beyond belief into faith? Once again, thank you for being here this week. Hope to see you next time. God bless.